Welcome to the land of the living.
Can you hear me?
What
What's
up?
up, big man?
What up?
I was telling Jesse that's the face of a man who hasn't touched grass or seen the sunlight in about 6 days. Who's been grinding the Call of Duty.
Oh, I haven't actually been playing that much. I'm not trying to get addicted right now. I got a lot to do.
Ooh,
That
so responsible.
that is responsible of you. Warzone
Good
2 kind
man.
of mid so far, but
Yeah, I played like two games
that's
of that yesterday. Actually, it was.
but
I
that's
liked it.
neither here nor there.
Well, welcome to episode 11, Hammer Talk. Siraj, guest of honor. Nikki, the nominated guest of second honor.
Buenos dias.
Yeah, welcome to the whole thing. We're already recording. We're gonna run it and gun it. Nikki's a busy guy, so he's got to go back to work after this. For all of you guys listening, give him a little
Unfortunate.
shout out. And Siraj, I think we just had to get him on the pod at some point. I feel like it'd been a minute, so it's good to see him back.
Raji
You
Papi
know,
feeling bueno after
it
putting up
was it was
160.
incoming. I'll probably be back on here for like the next 4 or 5 weeks, 6
Ooh,
weeks maybe.
big confidence. You think JJ is gonna stay healthy?
Yeah, he'll be fine. If not, we got a Haas running back. We got the Waddle Tua combo. We're coming in hot for the postseason.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, you've got a deadly lineup. I mean, arguably an all-star lineup just on your squad. It's ridiculous, but we'll see if you can put it together. I mean, Donta Foreman's been
Bro,
good. JT's
you've
been
been
good.
trying to
A whole
ship
lot of
out
good stuff.
Waddle like hotcakes, bro.
Well, if it was for Tyreek,
Oh yeah, that's true. I
Gabe,
said, I
Gabe's
said,
definitely been.
like 2 weeks ago, I said Debo's on the block, and I immediately receive a trade from Siraj for Tyreek Hill. I'm like, that's not who's on the block.
I almost
Funny.
did give you Swift for Debo, but I was like, I kept Swift on my team all year. He's like the only OG I got, so I had to keep him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There's been a lot of trades, a lot of good stuff going on in the league. I think everyone wants to hear a little bit of the thought process behind Nikki's trade with P-ball, though. So, Nikki,
Sure.
this is your chance.
Sure. So, hold on, let me pull up the exact trade real quick. Um, so essentially, I've been trying to get Debo off my hands for a couple weeks because I got some capable running or receivers on my roster already. I have Tyreek Hill, who's unfortunately on bye this week. I picked up Mike Williams, put him on my IR for a couple weeks. That was like 3 weeks ago. And then I got George Pickens, who's been seeing an uptick in volume and red zone targets and stuff. And so I felt comfortable with my receiving core, and I really needed to move Debo and try to get a playable running back. Um, I got lucky and kind of struck gold with Jeff Wilson. It seems like off the waiver wires, but he's on bye this week. Um, trade deadline's coming up, so unfortunately, I had to make a decision. I had to sell Debo pretty low, and I've been shopping him around for a couple weeks. He's been injured, been on bye, and I was really hoping he put up a big week this week so I could try to sell him off for decent RB2 or something. But I just wasn't getting the value I was looking for Debo, and so I basically people reached out to me. He's like, I think he was trying to get Debo for somebody worse than Antonio Gibson, and then I sent him a counter offer. I was like, I'll give you Debo and Melvin for Antonio Gibson and Cup. And then he was like, throw in Patty. And I said, no, you're already winning this trade. Like, I was like, you're already winning this trade. Like, you're getting more value already. I'm taking the gamble with Cooper Cup. If he comes back, there's no guarantee he comes back in the playoffs. I mean, chances are pretty slim, but we'll see. And the reason I took that risk was because I feel comfortable with Mike Williams and Tyreek Hill at the end of the day for the next couple of weeks in my wide receiver spots. And if I do
Yeah.
get Cooper Cup in the last couple weeks and I make playoffs, fucking I'm chilling. Like my receiving core is the best in the league. And I, feel extremely confident trotting that out. And I also got, a playable running back, Antonio Gibson, catch a few passes every game, decent floor. Somebody I can just slot in there for the next couple weeks. So, I know off first rip for y'all, it probably seemed like a, trade rape or whatever you want to call it, but I calculated the risk, and I needed to move Debo off my team. He was the receiver that I was willing to move that had the most value, and unfortunately, I had to sell him kind of low. But at the end of the day, I took a gamble for Cup and got a playable running back out of it. And I don't give a shit about Melvin Gordon or a defense swap. So let's go. Let's ride.
Yeah, I like it.
Fair enough.
I mean, there's a little bit of heat in the chat for sure.
I don't care. They don't know shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at Debo, he's been underperforming all year. He hasn't done shit. I mean, he's like barely had any rushing. He's barely had any targets. Ayuk's kind of the one now. I mean, Siraj, you took Ayuk from me in kind of what felt like a nothing trade. And I think you actually got the better end of it looking back.
Hopefully we'll see this week with Debo coming back healthy too.
Yeah. We'll see. But it's been interesting. I think, like you said, Nick, if you can get to the playoffs, you're set. Like that's a ship.
Well, and Cooper Kupp comes back. I mean, that's just a lottery ticket item right there. But I do have to make it to the playoffs first for sure.
Yeah. I think the biggest worry for you, not even is his health. I think it might just be whether they're willing to risk their already injured player in a season where it's like they're not going.
Yeah, that's the reason I don't think they're going to play him. I feel like they'd probably rather just lose out the rest of the games and get a pick since they're not making the playoffs.
There's a difference from a logic perspective, and there's a difference between a coach who's trying to keep their job, an offensive coordinator who's trying to keep their job, a quarterback who's trying to, a wide receiver who's trying to get his contracts. Like, unless the GM's making that decision, I think they play him if he's healthy.
Yeah, no, I like it. There's sides to it. Obviously, you can go one way or the other, but you made your move, right? It's a big one. I don't know about you guys, but I've been hounding Jordan for Ja'Marr Chase. Like I'm like trying to get him because
I've been trying to.
Yeah, I don't want our playoffs to go without Ja'Marr Chase, and it's like he made a win later move when he needed to win now. It feels like the best way to sum it up. I don't know if you guys have any more thoughts there.
Yeah, I was kind of happy with it because, he's in my division. He obviously needs to win now, and he traded away Davante Adams, and he probably would have won a couple more games had he had, Davante Adams been feasting the past 2 weeks. So I'm kind of happy he did it because, puts him in a tougher spot to contend for, the playoff spot in the Rose division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Ja'Marr Chase just has no trade value right now either because everyone's kind of in a win now mode. Even like P-Ball, who's whatever his record is, me and Ian are coming up in the division also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, everyone's got to fight some demons right now. There's no free wins, it feels like. Even if you're stacked against the 2-8 team, you're staring down Justin Fields, who drops 50 points every week. So it's not easy anymore.
There's no safe space. I mean, everyone is like 4-6 to the outlier P-Ball 7-3. I mean, except for Hunter, but. I mean, again, Hunter's team is scary with Justin Fields in this quarterback-heavy point per rush attempt league where Justin Fields can just drop 50 points on a weekly basis.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's good to get a quarterback like that, dual threat. I feel like even with our completions and attempts and everything, you kind of buff the pocket passers, but then you just knock them down a peg with a 3-point passing touchdown. Like that just knocks what I think Herbert or Mahomes. Like Mahomes, I feel like should be undisputed QB1 this year. Maybe Allen, right? But it feels like Mahomes is consistently 5 or 6 on just a weekly scoring when he throws for 3 touchdowns every week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I have absolutely no complaints against having Patrick Mahomes, so I'm not gonna bitch about it because I mean he completes 40 passes a game, so it evens out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know it's that time of year. I don't know what your team's opinions are on this, but do you guys look at playoff schedule and start trying to trade away for that, or are you just trying to get to playoffs and then see what team you have when you're there?
I'm just trying to get to playoffs and see what team I have there, because once you're there, everyone's team's gonna look a little more beat up towards the end of the season, and so I feel like it really doesn't matter kind of what seed you get because everyone's just gonna kind of fall into place.
I feel like if I'm in a position where I confidently have a playoff spot secured, I mean, maybe I start looking towards matchups. But, I mean, I don't look into that too heavily. And, everyone's in contention and kind of in win now mode right now. So I'm not fucking looking at week 15, 16, and 17 matchups right now. Like I'm looking at the players I got and who I can slot in. But
Yeah, facts. No, it's good. It's good. I like to think of it a little bit. I like to assume I'm an optimist. I like to think forward, what does week 14 look like? Or what does week 15 look like? Because that's the one that's going to make or break it, right? If you get to that next level. And so I knew this might be weird, but I knew that when I drafted Joe Mixon, I would trade him at some point during the year. I knew I was going to move off him if Henry didn't get hurt. Like if Henry had gotten hurt or wasn't playing well, then we'll shipped him instead. But I was looking at it and I was like, I don't know if I like Joe Mixon through the end of the year because it feels like usually the Bengals get good when they're passing and I don't need him as much. And, I think looking back at that trade, I definitely lost that side of the trade just because Mixon going for 50 points didn't help at all. But getting a wide receiver after losing Marquise Brown felt like it brought me back. Don't know how much that ties into the whole playoff thing, but yeah, I think it's kind of a little bit of like a tough pill to swallow where it's like maybe I shouldn't have shipped him out so early or just had it like locked in my mind that I was going to move off him.
Yeah, it sucks that the running back you received in return was Damian Harris because, he's kind of floundered since that ankle injury.
I knew I was going to drop him. I really was. It was a bet on Amon-Ra is what it was.
Yeah,
fucking great.
And it hasn't paid off until like last week. He finally looked like he was back a little bit. So some you're gonna gamble in fantasy football sometimes, and sometimes it's not gonna pay off. And,
exactly.
Mixon obviously doesn't drop 50 every week. That offense.
Yeah, if you look at the rest of the season, he's had like 15, 20. Yeah, and that 160 bomb.
Yeah, I wouldn't beat yourself up too much about it.
No, I'm not like mad about it, but it's just like it's an interesting look back because the trade was I like Amon-Ra's close of year. I feel like that'll be good, but then he just wasn't barely anything the past 2 weeks, but except for last week. Like the 2 before that, he was like nothing.
Yeah,
it's like damn. Like I wonder if I could have snuck another game, but anyway, looking back at it, big week, huge week in the matchups. It feels like every week has been this is a deciding week, and then it all gets pushed back one more week. And it feels like week 14 and 13 this year are going to be crazy. So I think headlines are, let's see what we got. We've got a Nicky versus Redskins classic. I think Nicky will take it. Obviously, we're going to break it down because he's our secondary guest of honor today. But Philly's intimidating. You're staring them down. They score a lot of touchdowns. Hurts is nasty. I know you've got the Chiefs, but
I played against Jalen Hurts last week in my other league, and I got that game plan fucking downloaded already. Like, I figured it out. I've got a defensive coordinator who's, been working on him game planning for 2 weeks. I just need him to transfer some tech over from my also AFH owned Cockenschlagers in the other league, and transfer some technique over from last week, and we got Jalen Hurts downloaded, so don't you worry about that.
Yeah, good. I know that there's one of the players you're going up against, Gabe Davis. He just got out of a 3-foot to 6-foot snow game. Are you scared? Are you happy about it? What's the thoughts here?
So no, I'm not scared because I think his production isn't on a weekly basis. But he always has that potential of just catching a 90-yard touchdown at any point in the game, which is scary. But overall, I think I'd be more scared of a more consistent receiver.
That's fair. Siraj, what are you thinking when you're looking at this? I know you've probably got a dog in the fight, hoping that the Nicky edges one out here. But
yeah. So I like the Goddard got injured. Really makes me feel good about the trade I made earlier in the year. And then the fact that it's on Gabe and Jed's team just makes it like a little extra bonus. Hopefully AJ Brown doesn't catch all of Goddard's passes. He has no other tight end to play. Who?
AJ Brown, if he plays, he's hurt, dude.
Oh, he's hurt?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
He's like, hold on, let me see if I can get some. Yeah, ankle/rest.
Questionable.
Practiced in limited fashion. He's questionable.
He'll be fine. But he also doesn't have a tight end putting up like 12 to 15 for him anymore either. And
Or
his other
30.
tight ends on bye.
Yeah. I would trade him, but he doesn't have anyone I want.
Yeah, I was looking
Yeah.
at the trade too, right when I pulled up the
I was
matchup.
like, nah.
I mean, what's going to have to happen over here at the AFH conglomerate is I'm going to have some new guys step up that have never seen the field of action for me before. Mike Williams,
Oh.
George Pickens has never taken a start on my roster. Gibson, freshly traded for. Elijah Mitchell, fresh off the waiver wire, was on my IR for about 8 weeks of the season, then re-picked up. Still got some decisions in that RB2 slot to make, but I've liked what Elijah Mitchell showed me in practice so far with the squad. So right now he's trotting out RB2 reps. So yeah, I'm gonna have some
like
newbies
that.
show out.
Yeah, I like that. It's good. It's good. I think it'll be tight. I think
I like Elijah
projections
Mitchell.
have it pretty spot on. Yeah, I think he looks good. He actually looked kind of better than CMC some plays.
He looked damn good in that game Sunday night. Like
Yeah.
it seemed like every time he touched the ball, he'd get 12 yards.
Yeah, I had
Crazy.
probably 6 waiver claims in for this week just to fill the spot because Khalil went on IR. And it was like I couldn't not decide between Brian Robinson or Elijah Mitchell, and I was hoping that one of them would fall to me, and it ended up being like Pacheco or whoever it was. But
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, nah, Pacheco's fine. He'll be okay. Anyway, going on to the next one, we got Siraj versus Hunter. Speaking of, we talked about Justin Fields. Feels like you just add a multiplier on what a normal quarterback should be scoring when it's Justin Fields. Siraj, I know you got a lot of confidence. You came in with a lot of confidence. You always have a lot of confidence in the chat. Is there anything here that you're a little worried about?
Only player I'm worried about is Justin Fields. I already know JT's going to take all of Pittman's touches. And his running backs are very, very, yeah. Sorry, Hunter. I just don't see a way he beats me, but if he does, it'd be a big upset.
Yeah,
and he's been scoring a lot of points too. His team likes to put up points. It's just the teams that go against him likes to go put up points too.
Yeah, which is good for you.
Yeah,
it makes sense. I think the most interesting discussion here is the Donta Foreman over DeAndre Swift or Jamal Williams. I think that's what's sticking out here when you look at it.
I'm in.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable starting either Swift or Jamal right now until one of them picks up the other's production. And Foreman looks like a lead back, and Carolina likes to run all their backs to the ground. And I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Until they get down by 14 points in 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it's a risky biz.
It's a big Ravens play this week, man.
Yeah.
The defense is going to do me well this week, I hope.
Yeah. I mean, part of me wants Siraj to win this. His team is looking promising and on the up and up, and I want him to. You're in P-Ball's division, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want him to beat out P-Ball for that division lead. But also another part of me really wants to see Hunter win. He's 2-8. That's a tough spot to be in. I've definitely been in that spot before. So I'm rooting for a Hunter win this week, I think.
Yeah. I think I'm hoping that Hunter wins. I like everything staying close because with Nikki and I's league kind of behind in the overall win column, I like it when the other teams with better records don't win as much. Right? I want it to all squish.
Also, there's a chance on my team for Jimmy G and Waddle, or not Jimmy G and Waddle, Jimmy G and Ayuk to put up 20 points total.
That's a fact.
Yeah, Arizona's kind of got a defense, low key.
Yeah.
People don't want to talk about it, but they've got a team. Yeah. Anyway, interesting game. I think Siraj will edge it out, but hope Hunter keeps it close. Looking down the list, there's a couple. There's one in particular, a 4-6 matchup between the 10th and 11th seed that feels like season defining. Dean's got a great team, but you need W's to make it to the playoffs, not just star-studded roster. Looking at you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying here?
It's insane to me the caliber of Dean's roster has only picked up how that roster has only picked up 4 wins. I know Kamara had a slow start. Ramondre didn't necessarily pick up the RB1 situation until later, and maybe Aaron Jones had a slow start too. But I mean, that roster is kind of nuts, and I'm taking Flub by a million here. I think.
Yeah, I think Flood blows him out of the water, but
Yeah, I
I would
agree.
love to see a Jordan win.
I'm
That would
hoping
not.
for a
That would
Jordan
be
win.
bad for the division. That would be bad for the division.
I'm hoping for a
Jesse.
Jordan win.
I think if Jordan wins, I'm at this point, Nikki. I don't think Jordan's making the playoffs. Sorry, Jordan. Love you, big man. You did a great job. But man, I would love to see that star-studded roster just not in the playoffs. Just none
Yeah,
of those
I mean,
Same.
players.
I don't want to
that's
see
fair.
his team at all.
That's fair, honestly. I mean, again, this is season-defining game for Flub here. Like 4-7, it's real hard to get in the playoffs with 7 losses.
Yeah.
So this could really change the tides for him because I mean his team is crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean facts. Like that's just what it is. Like I would love to go and get some of his players off his team, but I mean, I don't know if I have anyone he wants. Like all of his starters are better than mine, except for
He was
Rosette.
trying to rip Kelsey off of me, and I basically just told him to fuck off.
Yeah, Kelsey's too good, dude. You can't,
Yeah,
no,
you can't try.
That Travis Patty stack just feels it's too much dopamine when the Chiefs play. Like I can't get rid of it.
Dude, they're so good. They're so good.
So
I'm
good.
like going back and forth. I have probably an hour to decide on whether I want to ride the Kadarius Toney hype train into the week, or if I want to ride the Lazard, train off a cliff.
Consistent.
I'm like, okay, so was the rookie thing just a fluke, or am I,
I think he was just on the
random?
Giants, bro. I think he was just on the Giants.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He
the
looks
thing
so
is-
fucking good.
The thing is, I mean, Patrick Mahomes can literally just make any receiver like a wide receiver 1 on any given day. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's tough, man. It's tough. But yeah, I got a decision in my near future. Right now, Lazard's locked in, but I really want to beat Hefe. He talks a lot of shit, so
I hope you beat Hefe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope you make the wrong decision. Hefe
I
rules.
appreciate it, Nikki. I appreciate it.
Hefe rules.
I will
After a
say-
long Hefe hate week, we are concluded with Hefe hate week. Rivalry week has ended. I have lost my battle and Hefe rules once again.
I will say the smack talk between Hefe and Nikki and Dean and myself last week was fantastic. But I think Jake came out and just shut down the competition for best shit talk with the goddamn screen recording.
Yeah.
Let's keep
I
the
forgot
family
about
out
that.
of this, man. That's not okay. That's not cool. You're not coming on the podcast again. You're kicked out. I'm messing around. It's good. It was
Jake, you were my
Actually, I had
first
to leave.
pick, and Jesse told me no. So Nikki was number 2 on the list.
Yeah. No, I was actually in a
didn't-
meeting when that got sent. and
I
had
didn't
to
even
stand
see
up
the
and leave
screen
the room.
recording, I don't think. Did he
Oh,
make a
it's bad.
TikTok?
Yeah, he made a screen recording of him on Instagram, looked up my sister's Instagram, and liked a bunch of pictures. Yeah. Can't support it.
Let's go, Hefe
I love it.
rules.
Anyway, I'm the favorite right now. I'd like to say I'm the favorite. Can't ever really take that, especially after CB Lamb did what he did to Nikki last week. And
CeeDee
you're
Lamb
looking.
did man.
I'm staring down the barrel of a loaded gun. It feels like with Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, Kyle Pitts, Justin Tucker, Dallas defense. They're all great. They're all intimidating names. But Jared Goff is my guy.
Oh, you don't even have Kenneth Walker playing.
No, dude.
You're fucked. I lied. Prediction
You're
wrong.
fucked.
You're fucked. Down goes Jesse.
Nope. It happens today, baby.
Down goes Jesse. Hefe's won the mental game already by sending the screen recording. Hefe's won the roster battle by not having Jared Goff in the starting lineup.
Well, I'm not gonna hold Kyler Murray until Monday, where there's no pivot option, right? I feel like I just gotta take off, like against the Giants, and it's like, all right, well, we'll see.
That's a tough spot to be in when you got a questionable player going into Monday Night Football. That's obviously better than your slotted in player.
Yeah, and then he's going up against the best defense in the NFL. Like, it's one thing if it was like a like a Las Vegas matchup, but no.
Yeah,
This is
like Texans.
yeah. Like I'm like, oh, fucking Goff, go get her done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh
That's
man.
funny. Yeah, no, I think
Not
Hefe will
funny,
get
but
me there, but maybe I can clean up a couple more games later.
yeah.
Looking at it, bringing it all back. You got probably one that Nikki and I both know who we want to win. You got Manziel's Hose versus Pat's Feelers. Looks to be a decent game, despite T-Ball not having the Tom Brady, Chris Godwin stack. If Keenan Allen plays and Daniel Jones comes close to his projection, that's 27 points for some reason, he might have a chance. But I just don't know that you shut down Burrow against Pittsburgh. What do you think, Suraj?
I mean, I hope P-Ball loses. Oh, I'm trying to find the matchup.
Good point.
I'm trying to find the matchup, the team.
I can fill in while you do that. I mean, I hope Alford loses. Obviously, Jesse does too, because we're all 5-5 in the Rose division. Basically, just decided upon by points for right now. Not in the Yahoo system. The Yahoo system is confusing me. Because apparently I woke up on Wednesday and it said I was third, and it was like, how the hell did I go from 7th to 3rd by losing a game? And like, it's like what? and then Hefe was like, oh, you're actually 7th. I was like, my waiver wire better not be fucked up. All right, you find the game, Suraj?
Yeah, I found the game.
All right.
Yeah, I don't see P-Ball pulling this one off. Debo just doesn't look like Debo.
Nah, he looks bad.
His running backs are good, but Jacob's running backs are better. And you got Jamar Chase-less T. Higgins. I got Jacob by 30. 35.
I like it.
135 to 105-ish.
I'm going Pat here, just out of pure hope right now for the betterment of the AFH conglomerate. I think Danny Dimes pulls up a fucking 35 burger against the Detroit Shitters. I think Keenan Allen, he comes back, tears it up. Not as much as Mike Williams, though. I think Deebo Samuels somehow squeaks in a rushing touchdown. Dalvin Cook catches 10 passes and goes for 200 combined yards. Joe Mixon goes for 12 points. Hawkinson, a solid 15 burger. Maher, maybe 9. And the Rams defense, I don't fucking know, man. That team's dog shit. P-ball by 15.
I dig it.
It's gonna be a rough one, man. I really hope Nikki and Alfred lose, because man, you guys did not inspire confidence in me.
P-ball by 15.
All right, last matchup that we got: 6-4 Ian versus 5-5 Prue. 2 playoff teams. You got the 4th seed and the 6th seed. I think that's the only double playoff. No. Jake and I are both technically in the playoffs, not according to Yahoo.
Technically, all technicalities around here.
Yeah, all technicalities, right? But we've got Ian versus Prue. Big week. I've been trying to get one of Prue's wide receivers off of him for this week. He will not trade me, so he's gonna have to drop somebody.
I
was trying to look at DK or Mike Evans, but he wasn't budging.
No, he didn't.
Prue is an F-tier trader. One of my friends did a segment in my other league about trade tier lists, and Prue was one of the few teams in the F-tier list. So as a manager himself, he is not conducive to trading. He does not like to text back.
Nope.
And even though he says he needs just a warm body at receiver, he does not mean it. And he will not respond to your text.
I was like, just to try to get a response out of the man, I was like, hey, what if I traded you Kyler Murray? And he just said nah. Like, that was it. There was no elaboration.
I think at one point to try to trade him, I texted him like 5 times in a row. No response.
Yeah, you just have to no shame, just quintuple text him in hopes that he responds. Fucking I don't even know how you get through. I don't think I've ever successfully made a trade with Prue, and I've been in a fantasy league with him for like 10 years.
He had a trade. Yeah, I made one trade with him, and both of our players ended up sucking. It was Daryl Henderson for Rashad Bateman, and Rashad Bateman was coming back from injury. Henderson had just got the backfield at LA. Allegedly. And so I was thinking, Daryl Henderson's probably not going to hold on to this thing. I got to get this dude off. But I need another wide receiver. Bateman's coming back. Probably doesn't care about him. Well, sure enough, next week, Henderson off the radar. Not even playing the game of football anymore. And Bateman plays 3 plays, breaks his foot, out for the season.
Yeah, solid trade.
Wash.
That's a great trade. Just a wash. Hey, I mean, until about this week, me and Siraj's blockbuster trade was a fucking wash. Like,
yeah,
it was fucking. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the exact play.
What was the trade?
I think I gave you Jonathan Taylor, Michael Thomas, and Drake London.
Oh, yeah.
And I received Jonathan Taylor, Deebo Samuel, J.K. Dobbins, and Juju. But I dropped Juju because he was dog shit at the beginning of the season. And so it was basically I got Deebo Samuel and J.K. Dobbins, and then he got JT, and that was
Michael Thomas, basically.
Well, Michael Thomas was never again. But yeah, that trade ended huge names in that trade, but that ended up being a wash until about probably this week, whenever
JT came back,
feeding him carries. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm on the Jeff Saturday wagon.
September 1st, Captain J traded Deontay Johnson, Jalen Waddle, Aaron Jones, and the San Francisco defense to Siraj for Keenan Allen, Drake London, Ezekiel Elliott, and the Minnesota defense.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Cap J was fucked, bro, before the season.
From the start. It's like the second trade of the year.
That was before week 1, I think, too, maybe.
Yeah, it was before week 1. It was like a week before week 1.
Bro.
So funny.
I also ended up back with San Fran and Minnesota.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. I forgot Hunter had Josh Allen. Here's that. Oh, this was kind of a good trade, though. Matthew Stafford, Justin Jefferson, Dallas Goedert, and Antonio Gibson to Hunter. And Hefe received Albert Okwuegbunam, Devontae Adams, David Montgomery, and Josh Allen.
That was the one I said Hefe won.
Yeah, because he got Josh Allen. But, I mean, Justin Jefferson was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Goddard would have been good. Antonio Gibson, man, that's rough. That's crazy. Well, all right, let's end it. Let's do this thing. I want to go drink beer, and I got to make a decision on my start sets. So,
okay.
Siraj, give me your champion pick. It's not yourself, or at least who you think you're going to play in the championship matchup. Nikki, give me the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th seed at the end of the year. 2 people that you think that are not going to win their division and make it, and 2 people that you think won't make the playoffs, but will still be pretty good.
Okay. Siraj, you go first.
Yeah, Nikki needs a moment.
I think my championship matchup will be Peru.
Okay.
And without me, I'll give you the championship. Peru versus probably one of the 3 in my division. I'm gonna go Ian. Peru versus Ian. Peru takes the dub.
Like it.
Okay.
Peru's been a popular pick.
All right. I'm ready. Number 5. We've got Pat's Feelers. I think Donna Dickdown overtakes him in the lead for the Anderson division, but I do think he falls back to that 5 seed. Number 6, I'm taking Beef Bus. Solid team, solid points for. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm taking the Rose division, so he can have that wild card spot. First one out in 7th place, I'm going Low Flub because it would be hilarious. His team is crazy. He's going to be probably have the most points for by the end when it's all said and done, but he's going to have 7 or 8 losses at the end of the day, and he's going to be first one out of the playoffs, and then second one out of playoffs. It's got to be Manziel's hose. I mean, I don't know exactly a complete rundown of his team, but I think he finishes right after Dean Jones.
That was fantastic. I love those picks, and I hope that I get to play against whoever the 3rd seed is. I hope
that's probably gonna be me.
Yeah, probably. I hope I get to play against
that would be fucked.
That would be fucked, because then it would just be another week of hating Nikki and hoping that you lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been good. I think we're all rooting for Hunter. I think we all think that Jordan will probably be cooking for us, but there's a chance that Dean's cooking. I mean, he's 4-6 if he drops again. Like,
there is a small chance that Dean cooks.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's that high. I don't think it's that high though. Like I think he pulls off a game or two more than.
Yeah, I don't see him as 11. Like there's no way he's 11.
Right? I think Jordan's like guaranteed in the 11th spot.
I think Flub is first out. Flub is first out. I don't know that
Jordan is guaranteed 11 though. I think Hunter could make a push. Like I think he actually has a chance with Fields and kind of the lineup he has. Olave's pretty good. So.
I mean, he
hopefully
just
needs
that
push after this week.
2 games behind. I think he's a little too far behind to make the push. What do we have? 4 weeks, 3 weeks left? 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, well, you just go to the consolation, and then isn't it like loser bracket consolation, or is it just worst record?
No, the consolation doesn't count. It's just the record.
Yeah, I think it's just the regular.
Because I lost the consolation bracket last year because I just stopped picking up players and stuff.
You know? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think Hunter stays in last. I mean, 1-8 is very hard to come back from. I do think Cap J stays in 11th. Lil Flubs, I think, moves up to 7 by the end of the season. And the rest of it's just kind of up in the air because everyone's so close.
Like that. Any of the top 8 could go in any direction. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, you boys have a good one. Hope Lazard catches a big touchdown. And I'll see you on the other side.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And fuck the beef bus this week. And the next 3.
Good luck, Hunter.
See y'all.
Peace.